I introduce to you Precious Bear Heaven. This adorable angel bear stamp set has sentiments that state peace, love, and joy, Christmas blessings, thank you for being an angel in my life, and oh holy night. First, I'm going to stamp my image on my cardstock. This cardstock is 110-pound weight Lacebo white cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. I am using alcohol markers to color my image, so I am using an alcohol marker friendly ink to stamp the image. I am using Copic marker E59, E37, and E35 to color my bear. For Heaven's cheeks, I'm using RV13. I designed this stamp set for the love I have for my precious Yorkie, Heaven. Heaven is my guardian angel. She is 11 years old, and every chance she gets, she is by my side. As we speak right now, while I'm doing this voiceover, she is in my lap resting. Between my three babies, Heaven is definitely my protector, my guardian angel. She is very funny about a lot of people getting close to me. That is just how she is. And when we're out and about, Zoe and Molly, they will go and mingle, but not Heaven. Heaven may go away for a minute, but majority of the time, she is right by my side. I can be walking somewhere and I'm like, where's Heaven? No need for me to ask because all I need to do is look down and around and she is somewhere by my feet. So this is my precious baby, my precious bear Heaven. I decided to add just a little bit of shading to the tips of Heaven's wings. So I'm using B32 and I was back and forth. At first, I was like, okay, I'm going to stop right here. But then I brought in B28 and I was like, oh, Lord, this is a little too dark. But it's okay. I just brought back in B32 and just kept going to try to blend the two colors together. But if I could have done it all over again, I would have just stuck with B32. But it is okay. I love how Heaven turned out. Next, I'm going to bring in my black Jelly Roll pen and add color to Heaven's nose. As I mentioned in the previous videos, you do have the option to color with your marker, or you can add some shine using glossy accents or black Nouveau drops. Next, I'm going to fussy cut my image, and then it's on to the next step. This collection will be available on Saturday, July the 20th after my YouTube live. I hope you can tune in. It's at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Then thereafter, the collection will be available for pre-order purchase on my website, thediaryofbellerose.com. Once I'm done cutting out my image, I am just going along the edge just to clean up the white area with a black marker. Heaven is so cute. I just love this little bear. I love it. Next, I decided to bring in a silver Jelly Roll pen just to add a few accent dots to the tips of Heaven's wings. And after that, coloring this image is complete. Then it's time to head on over to our next step. For this next step, you can either use a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch top folding card base or panel. But for this step, I'm going to show you how to create this project using a card base. I'm now going to add a piece of mint tape to the scored line of my card base. This is to prevent bleeding of the oxide on the back of my panel. I'm now applying Mermaid Lagoon on my card front, and then I'm going to apply seedless preserves. I'm only going to add the oxide towards the top, almost lower, a little below the center part of this card front. I'm not going to apply any oxide towards the bottom because it will be covered. I am going to toggle back and forth between my blending brushes just to ensure I have a good blend. Once I'm done, I'm going to spritz the panel with some water, allow it to sit for a few seconds, and then I'm going to bring in a paper towel and soak up the water. I'm then going to bring in the white brush from scrapbook.com and apply some splatter to my panel. This will create a starry night sky for my project. To ensure the splatter and the oxide is completely dry, I am going to bring in my heat tool and apply some heat to the front and back of my card front. I need some clouds for this project, so I decided to bring in a 4¼ by 5½ inch panel along with this cloud die, and I'm positioning the dies on the panel just to get a visual for placement. I'm then going to die cut the clouds and position them on my card front. I'm now going to add a touch of shading to my clouds by using Mermaid Lagoon and Seedless Preserves. I did not want to add a heavy application, so I did not add any extra oxide to the blending brushes. Once I'm done blending the clouds, it is time to create a moon for this project. So I decided to bring in 2 different sized circle dies, and I'm just getting a good feel for how I want the moon to turn out. So I brought in a piece of holographic mirrored cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. I'm going to die cut the larger circle first, and then I'm going to bring in the smallest circle die, and as you see, I'm going to position it on the circle, creating that moon. I'm then going to die cut my cardstock, and there we have our crescent moon for our project. I'm now positioning the elements on my card front. Once I'm happy with the placement, I'm going to adhere heaven to my card front first. And I also want to give you a heads up that I also cut an additional cloud using an iridescent vellum from Lawn Fawn. Once I adhered the moon, I then decided I wanted to create a dimensional effect on this project, so I decided to add scraps of cardstock to one layer of the clouds. I then adhered it to the other clouds, and it really does give that dimensional look. I'm glad I decided to do this. But then I decided to add cardstock to the entire back of the clouds, and I'm glad I did. I just love how this card front turned out. I almost forgot about my sentiment, so I took the entire card front over to my Misty. I selected the sentiment, and then I stamped it to the card front. But if I could do over, I would have stamped the sentiment first before I adhered the layers of the clouds together. But it's okay, it all worked out perfectly fine. After I added a few embellishments, here is the final result of this card project. I love how this card turned out. To the right, I created an additional project off camera. However, I did create a reel, so feel free to check it out. Let's take a look at the projects the Belle Rose Creatives created. Bobby Sue created an adorable card project featuring accents of splatter. I love how Shalana highlighted her sentiment by adding it to the center of the moon on her project. Sylvia created an adorable mixed media card project. I love how this gives us a different point of view on how we can use the stamp set. Joy created a beautiful card project using soft colors and accents of stars. Dominique created an adorable flat shaker card featuring Belle Rose sequin confetti mixes. For more inspiration, head on over to our inspiration gallery on my website, thediaryofbellerose.com. There you can view all the projects the creatives designed for this release. Thank you for tuning in to day 3 of Sneak Peek Week. I appreciate you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button and the notification bell to where you don't miss out on new tutorials. I am sending you love and hugs. Until the next sneak peek, please take care.